Good morning again, business math students. Today is Wednesday. We're looking at section 4-3 interest tables. This starts on page 144 of your textbook and it goes through page 149. Once again, as before, feel free to look through those pages, look through their examples, work through a couple of the examples that they have even, but you'll be just fine. This is a fairly easy section. So with this, you'll be able to figure out interest using simple interest tables, and you'll be able to figure out the due date of a note plus the number of days between dates. Stuff that you've been doing, the last two bullets at least, you've been doing for quite a while. The first one is going to be a walk in the park. Vocabulary-wise, I know you guys are all cheering. We don't have any for this section, so just make sure you brush up on your vocabulary from the previous sections. Now, our simple interest tables, these are now used on computers, but they're specifically programmed to find specific things. Interest is one of them. Also, the payment amount on loans, so they look through, they calculate the payments for each month and go, okay, here's how much it is. Nobody has to sit there by hand anymore and figure those. You do need your textbook. This is on page 145. It's kind of a yellowish looking chart. If you do have any of the binded charts and tables, it's on page 3. It's also within Moodle, so there's no excuse for you not having a simple interest table. You have 3 options right there. So steps to find this. You're going to take your principal amount, divide by 100. We want to know how many hundreds are in our principal amount. Just remember, when you divide by 100, you move the decimal to the left 2 places. Don't forget that, it makes it go a little quicker for you. Then you're going to find your magic number on the chart. So you're going to look at your interest rate and your time. Then finally, whatever number you come up with from the chart, take that times your answer for number 1 from these steps, and that's going to be your interest then. So once again, you need page 145 in your textbook. Remember, it is in Moodle. Looking at the interest on $850 for 20 days at 12%. So we're going to switch over to the camera. We know our principal was $850. First step, find out how many hundreds there are. So principal, divide by 100. Once you divide it, remember, move your decimal 2 places to the left. It's your quick, easy way. You can use your calculator if you want. So we're looking at 8.5. Then you're going to go to your chart. And with this, you're going to hopefully see the copy on here. We know it was 12% for 20 days. So go down on the left-hand side until you find your 20. And I'm going to move the camera. Hopefully I don't make you sick by doing this. So we have our 20 on here. Go across the top till you find 12%. And just so you know, it is the next to last column. And yes, I'm moving the camera on you again. So we are at 0.6575. 0.6575. .6575. You must use all numbers with that decimal. So our number from the chart times our number of hundreds, so our 8.5. And we come up with $5.59. That is our interest on that. Super easy stuff. So we'll go through another one. This check your understanding A on page 145 in your textbook. It's $620 interest, 12 days at 10%. So we'll switch back to the camera. 620 for 12 days. Once again, like with any other chart, I suggest you use a straight edge. So 12 days at 10%. 10% is clear over here, 0.3288. 0.3288. So since we have our number Let's go through the steps. 620 divided by 100 equals 6.2. We found our number on the chart times our 6.2, and that will give us $2.04. That is it to these. If you need some more examples, work them out in your textbook. Once again, follow along the examples in the text. Makes it so much easier. However, we might have some, this is check your understanding, letter D, and actually we're going to go back here. Sorry. We're going to actually look at example number 2 on page 146. So sometimes you're going to have numbers that don't fall on the chart. In this case, 35 days does not fall on our chart. Our chart only goes up to 31 days. Only 31 days in a month. That's why you only go 31 here, or 31 on the chart. So here, it's going to be very similar to what we've already done. We'll start out with our 450 divided by 100, and we know that's 4.5. However, we're spending 35 days. You need to come up with some sort of combination. I would suggest you go with even numbers. So with your days, I would suggest you go clear down here, and wow, this is really crooked, sorry guys. Clear down 30 days, and trust me, this is a lot harder getting it on the screen than it looks. And we were at 8% interest. 8% is this very first number. So 0.6575, and then we have 5 days to go back and make up on, so we'll slide up. 0.1096. So for our 30 days, gotta adjust the paper again here. I really hope I'm not making you guys sick as I move this stuff. So 0.6575 plus our 0.1096. We're going to add those two numbers together, and that's going to give us our 0.7671. So this is going to be our interest on $100 for 35 days. Once again, we took the number from 30 days and the number from 5 days, added them together. Then it's business as usual. Our 4.5 times our magic little number, 7671, and that's going to give us 345 after you round. Make sure you round to the nearest cent. Most generally, you're going to find it where it's going to be more of the days that are not on the chart over percentages. However, you might have those that have the percentages way off the chart. For example, understanding E. This one is 30 days at 16% interest. So with this one, we'll switch back to the camera here. Our principal amount was $350. We'll divide it by our 100, which is 3.5. Remember, it was 8%, and it was for 30 days. So what we'll do, we'll take our chart, 16% for 30 days, and I already gave it away. We're going to split our interest in half. So we get 8%, we're going to use that 30-day mark, so 0.6575. Oh, now I even have the cord in here. So 0.6575, we're going to take it times 2, which gives us some sort of large number. Give me just one moment, I'll get that refigured for you. Sorry, cleared out the calculator. I'm not clicking fast enough here. So that gives us 1.315. That is our new magic number. From there, we're going to take our 1.315 times our 3.5. And this will give us our interest amount of $4.60. That's all there is to those. Pretty easy stuff. It's things that, as long as you get the right line on the chart, you'll be all right. Do not forget to take that principal amount, so like in this case, the 350 right here, divided by 100. That's what gets a lot of people. Due dates, don't forget, we do have to figure those. No, you cannot use calculators. If your time is shown in months, you can count ahead in the number of months to find the due date. You guys know how to do that. It's easy stuff. If you are going by months, the due date is the same day in the month that you stopped with. If it's the last day of the month, it'll be the last day of the month in which the note's due. So if it was due on if it was issued on January 31st, due in 1 month, it would be due on February 28th. Unless it's leap year, then it would be February 29th. Please remember that. If your time is shown in days, then you can count forward from the date of the note. That's where it gets a little bit trickier. Really, with a little bit of practice, you guys can easily figure those out. Honestly, you'll probably even figure it quicker than it takes me to even click through here. Things to help you remember, and this is on page 146 in the purple box. You do have the poem. 30 days has September, April, June, and November. All the rest have 31, except for February, which has 28. Unless it's leap year, then it has 29. Other people prefer to do the knuckle counting. Personally, that's hard for me. The poem is the way I get through it. And yes, I still do use it. So a maturity date of a 90-day note dated June 28th. Easiest way to start, we have a 90-day note. We know from the problem that it's dated June 8th. We know there's 30 days in June, so we have 2 days left. So we're going to subtract 2 days. So we still have 88 days to account for. We know July has 31 days. So we're going to subtract 31 days, gives us 57 left to count for. August, we know, has 31. Sorry, very sloppy 3. Once you subtract that, 26 days are left. So we know by default then, June, July, August, September comes up next. Our due date, September 26th. That's all there is to it. Pretty easy stuff. You may have one with a month, so March, April, May, June. June 6th is going to be our due date here. Make sure you check out the examples on page 147 if you need some more. Be sure to count correctly as you go through. Finishing up, you can figure out the days between notes, days between dates for your notes. These are super easy to do. Here, we're going from June 14th to August 23rd. This is very similar to what we just did. And I'm going to jot that up here. June 14 to August 23rd. Just that way we don't have to flip back. We know from June 14th to the end of June is 16 days because there's 30 days in June. We know there's 31 days in July. Then from August 1 to August 23 is 23 days. So we jot those down, add them all up, 70 days. That is our answer. Very, very easy items for us. Once again, go back through your textbook, look at some of the examples. Remember, it does start on page 144. You need the chart on 145, and it is in Moodle. Once you're finished going through those, be sure to work on workbook pages 50 through 52. By Thursday, 46 through 52 will be done. If you have a question, shoot me an email, jot it up in Moodle. I will be here for practice right after school, so you can always come in and ask. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and good luck on this assignment.